What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Foregon. We're going to get this party started with Scarlet Witch, massive major waifu, and answer the question as to whether or not this uniform is actually worth buying. Now, aesthetically, I think it's absolutely worth buying because it's totally beautiful, right? I mean, it's pretty similar to the last uniform that she had, right? It's very similar to this one here. A little bit different in the pants and the sleeves. There's some differences with the collar, but they're very, very similar, right? Both gorgeous, gorgeous uniforms. And you guys can see that I do have this one as mythic. So we got a pretty fair comparison that we're going to be able to do today. Now, they really didn't do a whole lot for this character. I mean, they really didn't change a whole lot. I mean, now her passive has the penetration, right, and the increase of skill damage, whereas before her passive gave her the increase of skill damage in the passive, right? Skill damage is by 40%. This one here is by 30%. This one here is by 40%. So they gave her a little extra skill damage. And then her passive in her newest uniform increased all basic attack by 25%. Whereas in the old one, it actually increased it by 20%. So only a 5% increase. The accumulation is exactly the same on both uniforms, and you can cancel the skills on both uniforms. Now, something that they removed is that she had a movable skill on her third skill in her previous uniform, whereas now she's pretty much stationary sitting in front of the opponents. Now, she can cancel her skills pretty quick and pretty immediately, guys, and it's nice that she's got this 7 seconds of invincibility. That is really, really sweet that they did that. And real quickly, just to run through the build, guys, when she's got 62,000 energy attack, and that is with her leadership. She has pretty much max attack stats except for her critical damage. That's only 170, but we're just going to be comparing these two uniforms to see whether or not they're actually worth it. We do have max dodge, which is really good because we are going to be using a CTP of rage. And then, of course, the situation is going to be the same in both uniforms. Fully awakened power of angry dog set, CTP of rage, and then, of course, a mythic uniform. Now, when it comes to the rotation for this character, now I'm playing with a rage, and I really need to play with her a little bit more, in all honesty, to figure out a solid rotation. But they actually lowered the cooldown on her 5. It's much less than what it was before. So you can actually hit your third skill and hit your 2 or 1, 2, 5, and then go into your 4. Just delay the 5 slightly, because if you hit the 5 immediately, like if you hit the 5 and cancel the 5 immediately, you won't get the damage from the 5. You got to make sure, like, you let those, the little hit, do a little hit, and then go into your next skill afterwards. And this is why she's probably not going to be the greatest with a proc, guys. Like her third skill, you can easily let it go up, right? It doesn't really do any hits, and then you go into your other skills. But she's really tricky, honestly, with a judgment or rage. She's going to be optimal, but the rotation, at least so far from the testing that I've done so far, it's literally 3, 1, 2, 5, 4. And then it's going to be 3, 1, 2, 5, tier 3, slam down, and then go into 4. Make sure she slams down so that way you get those meteorites coming out from the tier 3. Right? Her animations are gorgeous. I mean, I talked about in the last video. I don't want to really go over that now, but man, they are gorgeous, right? Just like her, super, super beautiful. And you do have to play these two uniforms a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and equip her old uniform. Oh, by the way, guys, let's talk about this really quick. So on her uniform options, her first uniform option is Winter Soldier, which is honestly bad, which is a shame. Her next uniform option is Jessica Jones, which, I mean, good support for Iron Fist, okay in PvP, maybe for AC, but really nothing too spectacular at this point in the game. And then we got Magic, which is a terrible uniform. And then we have Doctor Doom, which is one of the easily probably the best character in the damn game. And then we have Makari, who's also a phenomenal character. So the last two options are really, really good for her. Really, really nice. So let me go ahead and switch to her old uniform, and let's take a look and see what kind of damage she does in World Boss. Now I'm just going to go against Null, and we're just going to go against stage 29. By the way, something to note about Scarlet, guys, is because she's considered an other and a female and a universal, she doesn't fit any requirements hardly at all. Like, yeah, you can go up to stage 9 with her, and that's all good, but I mean, then you need male, right? Then you need human. She's not a human, she's another. Then you need superhero female or superhero male. Then you need female. You can use her from 25 to 29. And then after that, you're pretty screwed. She isn't a blast. She isn't a villain. She doesn't have the agility tag. She isn't a speed superhero, right? I mean, she isn't a mutant. which is wacky, right? I mean, she doesn't fit any of these requirements, which is really kind of a shame. So really, you're just hoping that she's going to shine in ABX. In all honesty, you're just hoping she's going to shine in ABX. And she might, you know, she might be better than Athena. She might be pretty equal to her. From what I've seen so far from other YouTubers, she looks like with her artifact that gives her damage to supervillains, that she could be on par with Athena. So, I mean, yeah, that's something else to think about. So let's go ahead and do a run with her, guys. I mean, she does have 100% ignore dodge whenever we do her tier 3. I'm just going to be doing my ABX rotation that I've always done with her in this run. We're just going to do the first phase. Hopefully I can remember how to do this. There we go. Nice, 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 nice. Then we're going to go into the 1-4. Now she gets a heal from her passive, whereas in her newest uniform, she actually gets a heal on her skill, I believe. Which in all honesty is a lot better. It's better when you can dictate when you're going to get a heal instead of depending on a passive. Okay. So we're going to run up here. We always got to make sure we slam down when we do that tier 3. And I mean, like I said, I don't really have a set rotation with her as far as using the new uniform. I mean, honestly, guys, she's kind of like a spammy kind of character. There we go. And we're going to get back here, trying to get caught in the cage. We got caught in the cage, unfortunately. Her movement speed isn't as good as what it really should be. I would like her to be a little bit faster. Okay, so now the tier 3 is ready to go. Okay, and I'm just going to hit her 1, and then her 4, and then her 3 here. So that way we can include that 5th skill when we're doing our tier 3, so we can do a lot more damage. There we go. Yowie wanted to delay that 4th skill a little bit as well. It really is a bummer that she doesn't really fit a lot of the requirements through World Boss Legend. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And voila, right? 3 minutes and 15. It took 1 minute and 45 seconds to do the first phase with the old uniform. Both these uniforms are at Mythic. So let me jump out of here. And let's equip the newest uniform on her and see how we do with that. All right. Okay, same strikers, same everything, right? All right, we're going to do that again because I was getting a different outcome earlier when I was practicing this, and that ended up being way off compared to what I did earlier. So let me try that again and see if we can get this down. There we go, there we go, there we go. Nice, nice, nice. I always like throwing that 1 there too to try to get a little extra damage. Come on, proc. Come on, proc. Where you at? It didn't even proc that time, which really, really sucked and hurt our damage quite a bit right there. That's the thing about using a rage on a character that doesn't have guaranteed critical rate. Like, sometimes that rage just doesn't proc. I mean, this damn thing just doesn't want to proc. And that's what was happening to me a second ago, right? There we go, there we go, there we go. Try to squeeze out a little bit more damage. Okay, and there we go, there we go. That's the way, that's the kind of damage we want to see right there. I mean, when that proc hits where it's supposed to, it's not too shabby, right? Okay, okay, okay. Oh man, if I would just hit that tier 3. So, I mean, you know, like you're looking at about a, what, 17-second difference. And then maybe the run could have been a little bit better, right? It's just, but I mean, over a 5-minute period, I mean, you're going to see more of a difference. You know, you're going to see about, you know, maybe a minute and 1 full run, which isn't bad. A minute would gain you about 2 stages in World Boss Legend. So I don't think this is a uniform that you would buy just if you're trying to push World Boss 1 because she doesn't really fit the requirements. That's a big thing that hurts Scarlet quite a bit. But I mean, but it is enough of a difference to make her stronger for ABX. And that's going to be the thing about this character, whether you're like really into ABX, whether you really want this uniform or not, because aesthetically, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous uniform. I mean, to be fair, this uniform actually had higher stats, higher energy attack, right? Because it had better uniform options. They were leveled up a little bit better for her, right? I mean, yeah, I mean, everything was pretty much very similar, except my energy attack was higher in this uniform. We got 62,000 energy attack in this uniform, whereas we had, you know, well, 62,000. So actually, they're pretty similar as far as their stats, the way they look and everything. So, I mean, it's a beautiful uniform. It plays really, really nice. But just like the old uniform, you're still going to need a Judgment or a Rage. I think really her viability for most players is going to lie in ABX, and that remains to be seen if she's actually going to be better than Thena. If she's just to be just on par, because I mean, she does have the artifact that gives her, you know, that insane damage to supervillains, right? I mean, this is pretty nice. Increased damage to supervillains by 20% is a lot. But what are the chances of you getting a 6-star artifact? It's kind of the thing, guys. And that's something that you really need to take into consideration, and something that you really need to think about. Personally, you know, considering the uniform is 50% off, I mean, I think for a lot of players out there, it's going to be worth it. They're going to love the uniform. They're going to have fun with it because the uniform is absolutely beautiful. The animations are gorgeous. And I think in Wanda's case, I think for a lot of players, that's going to be enough, right? If she can compete even more with Thena, or if she's just a little bit better than Thena and ABX, that's also going to be something that players are going to be looking at. But that's something that's going to have to be tested in the future. So guys, let me know what you think about Wanda in her newest uniform. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, y'all. Take care and have a good one. See everybody.